Good afternoon, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of the ALCOSAN Board. Today is June 27, and it is 2024. Having some technical difficulties. Give us a moment. Seems like we're okay. All right, let's move forward. So, I will test. Stop swearing. Again? Okay, please. Okay. So prior to this meeting, there was an executive session which was held and no votes were taken in that session. So Myra, can you please do the roll call? Okay.
Paul Klein, Emily Kincaid, Darren Kelly,
Here.
Teresa Cal Smith, Harry Reedshaw,
Here.
Dr. Thorpe Gilliam,
Present.
Sylvia Wilson.
Thank you. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so as we enter the information items for this evening, we have someone who has signed up for public comment. Mr. Crawford, you can approach the podium. You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity to speak here today. I served on a public board myself for a number of years, so I appreciate the work you all do. I was on the loan committee and board for the Regional Development Funding Corporation, which is the SBA lender that serves this area. And I have a lot of years of experience working in public economic development in this region. A lot of things in life are about being in the right place in the right time. I was lucky enough to be born in '55, about the same time ALCOSAN was, and Pittsburgh got serious about its renaissance. So I benefited a great deal from the water and clean air that were created at that time. And I guess the question I'm kind of posing today at this point is, if you look forward another one of my lifetimes, that'll take you to the next century. And what would ALCOSAN look like at that point? And I think you can tell from the incredible civil engineering work that's being done here that a lot of things will look remarkably the same. There'll be a lot of CapEx projects. There'll be a lot of political engineering with regionalization initiatives. And the question I'm kind of curious about is whether or not it still will be a tremendously underfunded activity relative to the revenues that the organization is able to bring in and the expenses that necessary to carry out that work. So basically, if you're dealing with the revenue point of view, you can lower your costs or you can increase your revenues. And I believe that adding a new strategic element into the direction of ALCOSAN might help to address those issues in the long term. This area has always been noted by its reliance on fossil fuels. There's a wonderful book by Charlie McAllister, a labor historian, called The Point of Pittsburgh. It starts the discussion with the fact that there were coal resources at the point. And, those coal resources sat there for thousands of years with nobody being remotely interested in them until our civilization came along and the Industrial Revolution hit. And then pretty much everything that we think of as Pittsburgh kind of follows in line from that, the heavy industry and the railroads and all the rest of it. So what I'm interested in having ALCOSAN do is look at itself as a company that's interested in the chemistry of water and the chemistry of biomass. And I would compare that to the business plan of PPG, which got out of the mainstream business of commodity business of making glass and chose to focus on the high-tech side.
That's 3 minutes.
3 months.
I'm sorry, I'm doing this as fast as I can.
I know, but we have a policy in place for 3 minutes. Can't deviate.
Okay, so I should just stop now?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much. If anybody's interested in following up, I left my contact information at the front. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Crawford. So moving on to information item B, the report on the 2024 operating costs and revenues compared to the budget as per Exhibit A, Ms. Antoni.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This report is as of May 31st, 2024. At that point, we were 41.7% of the year through. And as of that time, we had spent almost 39% of our operating budget, and we had collected 44% of our budgeted revenue. So we continue to operate in a sound fiscal manner. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to entertain them.
Okay, hearing none. Now let's move on to item C, WWTP expansion cost report. This is Exhibit B, Ms. Kennedy.
Thank you. So this is our most up-to-date dashboard for the plant expansion. So I will draw your attention to the solids thickening and dewatering improvements at $4.5 million. That is the pre-purchase of the centrifuges that we completed earlier this year, but that project is now ready to go to bid. So the planned bid date is July 24th, just before our next board meeting when we get together. And for that project, there will be a general electrical HVAC and plumbing component. It's it's one of our more complex plant expansion jobs. So in short order, this dashboard will get updated again with another project. But I'd be happy to take any other questions with respect to the dashboard.
Okay. Seeing and hearing none, let's move on to exhibit item D. That's the advisory committee report. We have Ms. Ramage here today.
I can stay here. First of all, okay. Well, to the podium, thank you.
And I should have said the chair of the advisory committee.
Yes, thank you. First of all, thanks for this opportunity. You have our report, and first of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Gillen for attending one of our meetings. That is greatly appreciated by the entire committee, so thank you so much for that. We appreciate, we want you all to know that we're really here to try to help and to learn and to share the information with the member communities. We've kind of mixed up our meeting times. We switched it last year and now we're kind of looking at a hybrid because we have people that coming in the days better, coming in the evenings better. So we're also grateful for the updates we're receiving on the plan expansion. That has been awesome because on the ground level where we are, the municipalities, we hear about the rates all the time, like I know you guys do too. But when you're here and you can see the massive work that's being done here, and you correlate that, and this is what we're working on very hard, that our communities and our residents understand that this also helps us meet our goals with the consent orders. It's incredible. So again, also one of the issues we talk about a lot is the rates and how we can help people who are, maybe more vulnerable and unable to meet. I want to say how great it is. Like we're having people come out from ALCOSAN at different community events so that we can get to the people where they are. Sometimes the people that need it the most aren't available to hear these kinds of things, read things in the online. So we're so grateful for staff to be able to come out to our events. We know that's an extra burden on them. So again, I don't know if you have any questions, but I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak to you today. Anything our board can do, please reach out to us.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was a very interesting meeting. I really did enjoy coming out to this. All right, so let's move on to information item E. So we have here the report of action by the executive director and approval of construction change orders. This is within the contingency included in the board approval at the time of the conference award is authorized by resolution number 2022-0304, Exhibit C. And Chair, I have access. Yes. Change orders, the first four are all related to the environmental compliance, which is close to completion, close to moving in. I said, close to this year, there will be occupants in the facility, not everybody, but we will have moving this year. So the first change is actually, I should say, it's all except for employment. There are a variety within each of this new locks and access on multiple doors. Data run. I didn't know what the data run was until I had to research it. And we want to make sure it's it's supposed to be. There's also an extension of the which you will see. The next one is further down on the same result. With it's changes again affecting access on some of the doors. There's so air gas was our vendor. We have to make changes to the air gas pad once air gas review our specification. The wall, the elevator, larger access hatches. There's glass included that either cannot be exposed just to make it look good. The roofing edges still and it's replaced in work. Yeah. Looking at the page, which you receive another information. And sauce popping, we modified that location. It had to be relocated. Needed a new drain. And once we get
we're extending the contract period. Okay, moving on to one, which is the quickest. Which always been. Yeah. I think that's it. The environmental components, so the last one, CSO bypass and disinfection. Isolation valves that had to be upgraded and additional valve multiple lines. I think that's it for CSO bypass.
Okay, so those 5, are there any questions about those change orders? Okay. Hearing none, we can move on to report of actions by the executive director and approval of exhibit D, change orders.
It is for the East Edwards General. Again, we have the patient, it's a combination that all it's in the credit is for the most part because they're changing to asphalt from concrete. That's the largest chunk. Some of the additions were just soft that had to be added and heat trace.
Are there any questions about the change orders that are represented in exhibit D? Okay, all right. Hearing none, we can move on to action items. So the first action item we have is the approval of the minutes of the regular board from the meeting, May 16th.
Motion to suspend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that motion is passed, approval. Those minutes have been approved. B is consider authorizing payments not in excess of $23,200 processed during the period of May 7, 2024 to June 17, 2024, and review with summary report of expenses of $12,600. And that is exhibit E.
Madam Chair, your invoice list exists as you received it. If in your review, you have generated inquiry on any of the invoices, we will respond.
Are there any questions about the invoices that are represented here in exhibit E? All right. Can I get no motions? We don't need motions. Oh, so moved, sorry.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that authorization has passed. Okay, next. Motion to award the following contracts. Contract number 1746. Melanchthon Pump Station Replacement to Independent Enterprise Incorporated at the price of $2,472,855, which includes the base contract bid of $2,200,048,050 and a 10% contingency of $224,805. Bid received are indicated in exhibit F.
Madam Chair, for this contract, there were 10 potential bidders interested in the purchase bid documents. You can see that only 2 responded. We do have experience with each of these bidders. The low bid is about 10 to 12% above what we had anticipated. However, it is our belief that it's the result of inflation and the cost of materials. So we certainly recommend award.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
Motion approved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think that motion passes. We're gonna move on to second motion in this area, which is contract number 1802, furnish and deliver polymer for the centrifuge dewatering system to Polydyne Incorporated at the price of $1.05 per pound. Bids received are indicated in Exhibit G.
Madam Chair, again, two bidders. We have experience with both, as you can see from the bottom of the exhibit, that the previous contract was awarded to Polydyne in 2021. Long-term service provider. We recommend award.
Motion approved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have a motion to approve the following change orders that exceed $30,000 in value or whose cumulative total value with previously approved change orders is greater than 5% of the original contract amount, Exhibit H.
Madam Chair, this is wrapping up a contract. As indicated, this is the site demolition contract. And again, we have a combination of changes that well, it includes, I would say, a significant credit because it is, again, finalizing actual quantities as opposed to those that were bid at the same time. We, I would say, suffer from what we have and will continue to suffer from subsurface conditions. You don't know what's there until you're there, and that certainly added to the overall the project successful outcome.
Can I get a motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to the motion to approve the following service authorizations for professional consultants. Assignment is based on consultants' past efforts, knowledge and understanding of the task involved, and the availability of the consultant staff to perform the task in the time required. This is for Osborne Engineering.
Madam Chair, this item, items E, F, G, H, and I went before the Professional Services Committee and were moved forward with a unanimous recommendation for processing before board for Osborne. Osborne will be inspecting the chimney. There aren't that many folks that do it. There were two potential service providers. Osborne is the one selected. In addition to the inspection, we expect that they're also going to provide some indication of how we move forward with repairs, whether it's some, I don't want to say something we can spot repair. You don't spot repair a 300-foot chimney, but there are multiple options for how we proceed. So they will inspect and then they will advise. That's E.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The next motion is for CDM Smith. This is under the agreement for the engineering consultant services.
Madam Chair, the next four items are all extensions of pre-existing contracts. Happy to say, all at no cost. That's when the crowd says, yeah.
Motion to approve the extension. We do them all at once. We got.
Once, you want to combine them.
Oh, really?
All right, this time is second.
Second.
Wait,
Wait, yeah.
you might need an explanation.
No, you don't. Go ahead. We're on a roll.
Unless you really need us here.
Professional Service Committee.
I mean,
That's right. We already went.
Better zero cost in the
That's
committee.
right.
Make the motion for them all.
Yes.
And I seconded it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried.
Motion carries.
So that is for E, F,
Next, F, G, H, and I.
F, G, H, and I. Now you good. I appreciate the assistance. All right, now we're gonna move on to J. This next motion is to modify the grant agreement for the green revitalization of our waterways. This is the GROW program, by extending the term of contract. Let's look at exhibit I.
Again, coming from a board committee, this is, as you've heard repeatedly, a housekeeping issue of extending terms. We're pleased with the projects, pleased with the participation. These communities just need a little more fun. As you can see, at least one had been previously amended.
Okay,
Motion approved.
second,
Second.
all in favor? Motion carries. All right. Next, we have, the motion to adopt resolution number 2024-0601, authorizing the payment of updated estimated death compensation for certain condemned parcels of property.
And Chair, probably no easier way to say it, the estimated just compensation has been updated, and legally, we have to concur and pay whatever, concur with and pay whatever that is. All in keeping with the furtherance of implementation of the Clean Water Plan.
Not much to argue with on that. Are there any questions?
Motion to adopt the resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt passes. Next is the motion to adopt resolution number 2024-0602, authorizing the condemnation of a temporary real estate interest in a portion of one of these real estates. I'm going to read this. Portion of one parcel of real estate identified as Allegheny County tax parcel number 74R215.
Madam Chair, temporary easement, in furtherance of implementation of Clean Water Plan and being in compliance with the federal consent decree.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion to adopt this resolution passes. And the final motion to adopt the resolution is to adopt resolution number 2024-0603, authorizing the payment of $113,483 to Babcock Packaging Corporation for personal property move costs. And the payment is $156,543.
It is a two-part payment. Just want to make sure the board is aware of that. So you have the 113,483 and the 156,543. As the board has had to previously, we have to compensate people for relocating. That's, again, that is the law. And it is a part and parcel of implementation of the Clean Water Program.
Any questions on that?
Motion to adopt resolution.
Second.
All in favor? The motion to adopt the resolution passes. Is there any new business?
Not today.
Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting is July 25th, 2024.
Board.